Good morning, students. Today we will discuss about phylum Chordata. Today we will discuss about phylum Chordata. Chordata are the animals with notochord, a dorsal tubular nerve cord, and pharyngeal gill slits. As you can see in the diagram, the chordates are having a dorsal hollow nerve cord, a notochord, and a pharyngeal gill slit. Now, notochord is a flexible rod that lies between, as you can see, it is lying between alimentary canal. This is mouth, which means this is the alimentary canal, and nerve cord. This is the nerve cord which I am shading in black. This is the nerve cord, and this is the alimentary canal, which also I am shading in black. So in between the nerve cord, which I am shading in red, lies the flexible rod, which is known as notochord, which I have drawn in red. So notochord is a flexible rod that lies between the nerve cord and the alimentary canal. Now let us look at major difference between chordates and non-chordates. The first difference is obvious, that in chordates notochord is present, whereas in non-chordates notochord is absent. The second major difference is that in chordates pharyngeal gill slits are present, which is the characteristic feature of chordates, whereas in non-chordates pharyngeal gill slits are absent. In chordates, there is presence of post-anal tail. As you can see in the diagram, this is the post-anal tail which is present in chordates. Whereas in non-chordates, post-anal tail is absent. Chordates have ventral heart, means the heart is present on the front side, whereas non-chordates have a dorsal heart, which means heart is present on the back side. In chordates, the central nervous system, that is CNS, is hollow, dorsal, and single, whereas in non-chordates central nervous system is ventral, solid, and double. These are the major differences between chordates and non-chordates. The three differences are obvious. In chordates, notochord is present, whereas notochord is absent in non-chordates. Pharyngeal gill slits are present in chordates, which are absent in non-chordates. Post-anal tail is present in chordates, which are absent in non-chordates. Rest features I have discussed. Now let us understand the different subphyla under chordates. Chordates are being divided into three major subphyla. that are Urochordata, Cephalochordata, and Vertebrata. Now, in Urochordata, notochord is present only in larval stage. In Cephalochordata, notochord is present throughout the life. Means both the larval stage as well as the adult stage has notochord. In Vertebrata, notochord is present in embryonic stage but in adults this notochord is replaced by vertebral column. So they have notochord in embryonic stage, whereas in adults this notochord is replaced by vertebral column. Urochordata, the body of the Urochordata is covered by a layer called test. So this test is the layer covering the body of Urochordata. Layer covering the body of Urochordata is called test. And the Urochordata body is made up of tunin. Tunicin. The body of Urochordata is made up of tunicin and it is covered by a layer which is known as test. Urochordata also show retrogressive metamorphism. Retrogressive metamorphism means that the larva has advanced characters as compared to adult. Normally, the adult has advanced characters compared to larva, but retrogressive metamorphism means larva has more advanced character as compared to adult. Now let us look how vertebrata is classified. Vertebrata is classified into two main divisions. Two main divisions. That is division Aganatha and division Gnathostomata. The division Aganatha include class Cyclostomata and division Gnathostomata includes superclass pices and tetrapoda. The superclass pices includes class chondricytes and osteocytes. Chondricytes include cartilaginous fishes and osteocytes include bony fishes. Tetrapoda include further four classes that are class amphibians, class reptiles, class apes, and class mammals. Now let us talk in detail about cyclostomata. So let us talk about class Cyclostomata. All Cyclostomata organisms are ectoparasites on fishes. That is, they live on the body of the fish as parasites. They have 6 to 15 gill slits for respiration. They are without jaws. They are marine, but for reproduction, they move to fresh water. They move to fresh water for reproduction. After reproduction, they die. Examples are Pteromyxin and Myxin. Here you should know that in fishes we do not use the word reproduction. Instead, we use the word spawning. Now let us talk about superclass pices, which includes chondricytes, which are cartilaginous fishes, and osteocytes, which are bony fishes. Let us look at the difference between chondricytes and osteocytes. Chondricytes have, or the cartilaginous fishes have, cartilaginous exoskeleton. Whereas osteocytes have bony exoskeleton. Chondricytes have ventral mouth, and osteocytes have terminal mouth. Chondricytes have gill slits without covering. Gill slits are without any covering. So gill slits are without any covering, called operculum. Whereas in bony fishes or osteocytes, gill slits have a covering which is known as operculum. Cartilaginous fish's skin is covered by placoid scales, whereas bony fish's skin is covered by cycloid scale. In cartilaginous fishes, no air bladder is present, so they have to continuously swim inside the water because there is no buoyancy which is provided by the air bladder, whereas osteocytes have air bladder present. In chondricytes, there is internal fertilization. That means fertilization inside the body of the female. Whereas in osteocytes, there is external fertilization. That is fertilization outside the body of female. In chondricytes, they are viviparous, means they directly give birth to young ones. Whereas the osteocytes are oviparous, means they lay egg. They do not give directly birth to young one, but they lay egg. These were the major differences between cartilaginous fishes, that is chondricytes, and bony fishes, that is osteocytes. Now let us discuss superclass Tetrapoda, which includes 4 classes, that are amphibians, class reptiles, class aves, and class mammals. So first let us talk about class amphibian. Amphibians, they are called amphibians because they can live both on land and water. They have aquatic larval life, whereas terrestrial adult life. So, because they have aquatic larval life and terrestrial adult life, they can live on both land and water. That's why they are given the name amphibian. They have moist skin, which are without scales. They have pentadactyl limbs, which means limbs have 5 digits, which is known as pentadactyl limb. Further, they have 3-chambered heart. They are cold-blooded like fishes. Cold-blooded means their body temperature changes with respect to the environment. Their body temperature is not constant. That is meant by cold-blooded, which is known as poikilotherm. Respiration is by gills, lungs, and skin. So respiration, it can be by gills, it can be by lungs, or it can be by skin. Because they have moist skin, the respiration can also occur with the help of skin, which is known as cutaneous respiration. And they are oviparous, which means they lay eggs. Now let us talk about class reptiles. Reptiles have a dry cornified, which means hard skin with scales. They have 2 pair of limbs. They have 3-chambered heart, with one exception, that is crocodile, which has 4-chambered heart. They are also poikilotherms, which means cold-blooded. Respiration is by lungs, and they are also oviparous. The major examples of class reptiles are crocodile, snakes, turtle, etc. Now let us talk about class aves, which include birds. In class aves, forelimbs are modified into wings. Forelimbs are modified into wings, which help them in flying. They have presence of feathers and beak. So there is presence of feathers and beak. Skin is dry without glands. No sweat glands are present. Only a oil gland is present at base of the tail. They have digestive tract with special chambers known as crop and gizzard. So the crop and gizzard are the chambers present in the digestive tract, which helps in digestion of food. Fertilization is internal, and they are also oviparous. Now let us talk about flying adaptations of aves. First is presence of wings, feathers, wings, feathers, and beak. Next is they have hollow bones which are filled with air. These are also known as pneumatic bones, which help them to reduce their body weight, which aids them in flying. And they also have no urinary bladder, so that their weight becomes less and they can easily fly. So these are the flying adaptations of aves. Now let us talk about class mammals. Class Mammalia. So Mammalia includes mammals, and they are known as mammals because they have presence of mammary glands, which are milk producing glands. They have skin with hairs on it. Two pair of limbs are present, which are for walking, climbing, swimming, etc. They have presence of four-chambered heart. Mammals as well as aves, which we have discussed previously, are warm-blooded. Rest all classes are cold-blooded except mammals and aves, which are warm-blooded. Warm-blooded is known as homeotherms, which means that mammals as well as birds can maintain a constant body temperature. Now, if we talk about the teeth of mammals, they are of three types. They are thecodont, which means the teeth are embedded inside the jawbone. This is the jawbone, and this is the teeth which is embedded inside it. Then the teeth are heterodont, which means we have different type of teeth, which are incisors, canines, molars, and premolars. And then teeth are diphodont, which means there are two sets of teeth which are permanent teeth and milk teeth. We are also viviparous. Mammals are viviparous, like human beings, which means they give birth to young ones. Example of mammal is humans, which are Homo sapiens, kangaroo, and many others.